Yes, this is your soul brother Talib. I'm coming forth tonight with this title of this video called "Why I Want to Leave America," and I just want to let you know because of some recent alarming stuff I've heard and what's been passed on to me as well. It's very important for those of you in the social media audience and out there in YouTube land to hear this if you truly want justice for your fellow kind, which I refer to as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, whether you call yourself African Americans, Black, Moor, Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, Christian, Nubians, Comedics, and so forth on. If you truly want true equality, freedom, and justice for your people, you might want to hear what's going to be said in this video. I haven't been doing too many videos lately because I have other important stuff that I have to attend to with my daily life. But however, I am making this video, and I will also be making other videos, when time permits me to. But however, me being on the same platform with our brother Angel Snup Snup 7 of Reality Temple Ministries, who I also was a co-starter with as far as the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, which is still on the table for those of us who truly want true freedom, justice, and equality for us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. I just need to just say a few things in this quick video that I'm going to make, once again titled Why I Want to Leave America. Well, I just got some alarming information off this video by this brother whose show was formerly known as The Vice Show, which is now called the African Diaspora Channel, that you could go to and check this video out. But he talks about why the Congressional Black Caucus ignored the complaint about black workers being discriminated against, as well as being replaced for illegal Hispanic immigrants. And this is very alarming. And information has been put out, according to what I saw in that video, by reliable sources that confirms this to be a fact, and that we're being replaced by these unquote new niggas, which is those who are considered as illegal immigrants coming from Latin America, or even those who are coming from Africa and the Caribbean. And I must say that they are being used as pawns, of course, to do the racist Caucasians bidding in this country, which is part of their ticket of staying here in this country, for those of you that want to know. And let me take you down through memory lane dealing with the history of the immigrants coming to America. You remember during the early 20th part of the early part of the 20th century, which was just 1 century ago, and which was also going on 100 years ago, when those European immigrants that landed on Ellis Island came to America from certain parts of Europe like Ireland, Italy, and Germany, and so forth on. And they replaced us as this country's Negroes, perhaps. And they started gaining with civil rights that existed for us. And they started benefiting off of that, and just completely closed us out. They started getting the jobs, most of the jobs. They were even allowed to get land grants, to help feed them and their families, especially in parts of the country like here in Nebraska, which is called the U.S. Great Plains, and they were, placed above us. And this is today why we got the relationship we have as so-called African Americans with the Italians, with the Irish, and so forth on, which still consist of so-called ethnic and racial hostility. Well, this same thing is being repeated between us and those who supposed to look like us, like the African immigrants coming here, like those Caribbean immigrants that are coming here from places like Haiti, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, and those who are coming from Latin America, like Mexico, Central America, and South America. You see, and so, this whole charade about Trump being against the immigrants ain't nothing but a fake out and a smoke screen to, divert us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America from what's actually taking place, which still leads to us being the focal point of this whole scheme of things when you want to talk about anti-immigration or immigration in this country. It's all geared to keeping us at the bottom, like everything else that's been used as a tool to keep us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America at the bottom of everybody else that's in this country. And like I said before, when these concerns was brought to those politicians in Washington, that's a part of the Black Congressional Caucus, it was stated that, of course, they did not receive any complaints about this from those that brought these complaints to them. They claimed they did not get no complaint information and completely denied it. which shows where they stand at when it comes to the so-called black agenda in this country. But yet these are the same people that are standing right along with those leaders that is fighting for the Hispanic population in this country. They're standing along with them down at the border and totally abandoning any issues concerning black people in this country, who are preferably called dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. And this is the reality of where we find ourselves at as a people. Those of us who are also called people of soul, which was a title that we gave to ourselves that did not come from the racists or anybody else, which I'm proud to say. So that's why I use that analogy to term us as far as us as being a people, and it really alarms me when I see this type of stuff, because I was being made aware of this type of situation when I was still in the pro-black conscious community, or when I was still up under that type of influence construct, far as pro-blackness go, or pro-black consciousness and all this other stuff. And I was being warned about this then by some of those in the conscious community. And, what I see going on, that is confirmed, and even if it came from the racists, if it's the truth, it's the truth. So, just because I'm not a part of the pro-black conscious community any longer, I'm not saying that some of the stuff that I was being fed far as information coming from that construct wasn't true. And that's one part that truthfully has been confirmed that was coming from that construct of information that I was receiving over the years from different sources, concerning our plight as a people in this country. And, it is what it is, and I must say that we are right now in a situation that either, like I got through discussing with a brother in a conversation right before I decided to make this video, that we got three options. Either we gonna stay here and fight to take our freedom, or die as a slave, or the third option we got, why it's still available to us, is to get the hell out of America. And with that said, this is why I decided to make this video titled, Why I Want to Leave America. Because we really don't have much of a fighting chance as a group of people in this country. When me and brother Angel Snup 7 of Reality Temple Ministries decided to come with this proposal of the Mississippi campaign, which has the elements needed to effectively change our reality as a people in this country, you know, if effectively done on a common unity basis, it fell on deaf ears. And because it fell on so many deaf ears, however, that don't mean it's still not on the table, but you could say that it was decided that that would be put on the back burner. And since it's on the back burner, because there are those who are not truly interested in separation, as many have claimed, or truly interested in true freedom and justice and equality for us as black people in this country, this has all led me to come to the point that it is in fact time. Well, it's been time anyway, but it's in fact time for me to move on, making the decision to get out this country. Now, honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take. And to be realistic, I don't know if I will be able to stay alive long enough to do this. Because tomorrow, of course, is not promised to me well as anybody else. But I will say that I've made my decision that I want to get out of America because it's hell being a black man here in this country. Or, of course, as I preferably rather say, a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America. It's hell. It is definitely hell. When we have reprehensible leadership like we have as a people in this country that has totally sold us out and abandoned us and left us for the wolves to be eaten alive, not only far as the leadership among our religious communities or so-called religious communities, but among our political leadership that's supposed to have the influence to definitely be able to do something about our dilemma as a people in this country that has sold us to the wolves for a few pieces of trinkets called dollars. Then what other choice is it? We not gonna fight for our freedom. We rather remain comfortable in our slave-like oppression. So since we won't do that and not fight, but continue to live and die as slaves, then the only sensible thing to do is, for those of us that can, including myself, is to prepare ourselves to get the hell out of America. There are other nations in the world that we can go to. We may not find 100% freedom. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because white supremacy is spread throughout the whole entire planet Earth, which that would include even Africa, Asia, and so forth on. Okay, but however, there is information that's been put out there that in some of these nations across the globe, even in certain parts of Europe, we can go. And they ain't got to wake up every day just to live in fear of whether we gonna get our heads blew off by some racist peckerwood because of the color of our skin, or get racially profiled just because of the color of our skin, like here in America, like we have to wake up and face when we walk out our doors every day here in this country called the so-called land of the free, the good US of A, and I mean, there is information out there in social media that some of our people, and I'm talking about dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, that live overseas, including in places over in Europe, that has confirmed how it is to be a dark-skinned person in other countries outside of America that is different, that is more tolerable for us, that even yields more opportunities for us to be able to pursue, that is more harder for us to pursue here in America because of the color of our skin. So like I said, it's up to those of you who want out this hellhole, to go seek that information. It's out there, and like someone said to me before making this video, that we have the best weapon at our disposal right now, which is the wide world web media, social media that our ancestors did not have, okay? And we have to use it to the best of our benefit. That's going to truly give us some type of kind of sense of freedom from this hell that we know here in America. We got to. Because right now, as it stands, there's tens of millions of us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves who live in this nation, dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in this nation that exist here, that's not willing to stand up for true freedom, justice, and equality because of our fear of slave master and his children that we still find ourselves living among. That's still steadily kicking us in the ass every day, and that we continue to allow to kick it, to allow to oppress us and kick us in the ass every day, and we're not willing to do anything that will completely turn this crap around. So, what other choice do we have? We would be more of a coward, as I said before, by staying in this country to continue on dealing with this if we're not willing to do nothing about it. So like I said before, this is why we need to make an exodus. No prophet or savior is going to come from the sky and help us make this exodus either, which has falsely been, told to us through religion and all that. We actually got to make a choice and do this, like those immigrants did when they made their exodus from Mexico or other parts of Latin America and took a risk to get to America, or them Africans that's taking risks to come to America or to cross the Mediterranean to get to their former colonizers over in Europe. You know, they not worrying about what's going to happen when they get there. They worry about that when they get there or when they get to America. And that's the same mentality we need to have as so-called African Americans when it comes to our best interests as far as our lives and our well-being as a people, because as it stands, any type of well-being far as us being here in America is looking more dimmer and dimmer and dimmer as the day go by. And with that said, as far as the information I just gave at the beginning of this video that I just received through a video link that this brother sent me, like I said, that's on that brother's African Diaspora page. The brother which once called his page The Vice Show, whom y'all know who I'm talking about, of course, those of you that's in black YouTube social media land. Need to go check that video out. Matter of fact, I forget what exactly the title of the video was, but he talks about how, but it speaks about that. It's right on front of his video where it's posted, where it talks about the CBC ignoring, discrimination of black workers who are being replaced by immigrants in this country, in terms of being discriminated against for Hispanic immigrants. That's what the video is talking about. So if you go on his page, you'll see the link you'll see the posted title on that video that will confirm what I'm speaking about, which I could best put it right now because I forget exactly how the video is titled. But however, you need to go look at that video, and that explains where we're at. We're really in a dangerous situation, more of a dangerous situation than what we were during the civil rights movement, when our ancestors was out there getting dogs and water holes sicked on them just to get a few legislation bills passed on our behalf as a people, which we haven't done nothing effectively since to better our situation as a people in this country, because we went back to sleep and forgot all about our reality as being slaves in this country, which we still are. But we fail or refuse to want to realize that because of the fact that we think we're free. And the people that's in bondage, that think they're free, that's a dangerous man and woman who don't realize the course, a path that they're being misled on. And that's very dangerous. So like I said before, we need to understand and realize that we are in a very serious situation. And we only have basically three choices, like I said. Fight for our true freedom and justice and equality, far as liberation is concerned, or live and die as slaves. And I don't know how more simply that could be put. And the third option is leave America. Like I said, we either could get with this Mississippi campaign, which has the elements, if is put to work in the right effective manner, to change our situation around for once and for all. Or like I said, we can choose to live and die as slaves and accept whatever's gonna come to us, far as the worst to come down the pike, because it's getting worse. It's not getting any better. Especially for those of us who know, but refuse to take heed to the calling of the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign that me and Brother Angel Snup Snup 7 proposed to those of us out there in social media land over a year ago. And that still continues to fall on deaf ears whenever it's brought up, you know. So like I said, we need to wake up. Either accept our fate, which is going to lead to us dying as slaves anyway, or get the hell out this country. The information is out there, since those of you, especially in the so-called Black conscious community, say you got the information and you know the information. Well, there are countries, it's information about countries that we can go to. If we just want a little bit better treatment, or to be treated as more equal than we are as a people in this country, there's information that's been put out there. And I'm talking about not by West Indian immigrants or African immigrants, but Black American immigrants that are living in countries overseas. And I'm talking about directly from their perspective of what they've experienced and saw in countries overseas. So like I said before, the information is out there. So it's up to you to go find it. I'm not gonna baby you. All I'm just doing is just passing on the information, as you call it, And like I said, that's where I'm at this point, because it's nothing here, as far as staying here trying to get comfortable, trying to trying to be more well off financially in this cesspool, when the stability of this economy here in this nation is not promised to remain the same. It's not certain that it's going to stay the same, of course, as we know it. So we dealing with a lot of critical issues right now taking place in this nation. And for those of you that are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America that want to remain living in this uncertain reality that we find ourselves in, well, be my guest. That's all I could say far as that go, But I want to get the hell out this country before we see, or before things go for worse, and it's just that simple. You could call it running all you want to, but like I said, I would be more of a coward to stay here and keep putting up with this crap called racism, gerrymandering, racial profiling, mass incarceration, police brutality, living in fear of what might happen to me for the worse because the color of my skin. That's the real coward. one that's willing to take a chance of going to spread his or hers horizons to find out what it is to seek more better opportunities and places elsewhere around the world that you can't get more easily here in America because of the color of your skin. Is more courageable. Okay? That takes more courage just to go to another country to seek more better opportunities and situations that you won't find here in America. Being up under white racist conglomeracy, being up under more racial influence and corruption that this nation constantly produces every day. That our children and their children generations is going to continue to see, because we not willing to stand up and fight for true freedom and liberation as a people in this country. So like I said before, the only option we have, since we don't want to fight for real, true freedom and justice and equality, other than remain here as a slave, is to leave America. We see what kind of so-called black leadership we got here. And they too damn scared and coward to lift up a finger to fight on our behalf. So, what do we got working for us here? See, we got to look at that all the way across the board. We got to look at that and consider that, We got to look at all that when it comes to our situation and stop thinking on the individual level, which is going to not get us anywhere. But the only thing is, if we want to do the individual thing, the best thing with that is to get the hell out of America. Because living in America as individuals definitely ain't going to get us nowhere. So we going to do it individually. We might as well just get out of America that way. That's the only sensible thing to do if you want to do it on an individual level. Because trying to stay here, being black and living like an individual while black in America definitely ain't the way to go. So, like I said before, I'm not trying to sound articulate. I'm just trying to give it to you in plain terms, the best way I can. All that articulate, trying to sound, intelligent, all that don't mean nothing. That ain't even got us nowhere. Look at leaders like Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, that come with all this articulate, speech, humor, and grammar. And it still ain't done a damn thing. Farrakhan and Al Sharpton can't even stop the high rate black on black crime in Chicago and New York, where they leadership had strongholds is supposed to be located, far as state headquarters organizations is concerned. They can't even get it together in those places, whether it's Chicago, Detroit, or New York. But they gonna try to tell blacks how to get it together around the rest of the country. Come on, wake up, people. And by the way, I want to pass on something to you that a brother, who was in the Nation of Islam, reiterated to me, when Farrakhan died, which he is dying right now, he's at an old age and he's passing away because of his cancer and other medical issues that he has. He's dying. And he's going to leave a legacy to his family. And I'm talking about in terms of monetary finances that he could use to build Black Detroit, to build Black Chicago. That would make that would be a difference starter far as making a difference for our people in this country. And you know what they gonna do with that legacy? They gonna take it and spend it on themselves, like they've been doing. So I just want to leave you with that for those of you in the Black YouTube and social media audience. I want to leave that with you to ponder and think on. This is the kind of Black leadership we got in the country. Like the Black Congressional Caucus that'll be willing to fight for other people, like the Black Congressional Caucus is. But don't give a damn about Black rights, Black life, Black humanity in this nation. But they call themselves the Black Caucus, like that brother on the African Diaspora show said, And it don't make no, and that definitely is just the reality of it. So like I said, they use words or names to try to identify themselves with us as, or to try to connect us as a people with, but in turn, to only use that for profitable personal gain, just to keep themselves individually enriched. Can you people see what I'm saying? We're being used as suckers and pawns in this whole scheme of things. Wake up. We got to save ourselves. Like a brother named Noble Drew Ali once told us almost a century ago. We got to save ourselves. No one else is going to save us. Wake up. This is real. We all we got. So like I said, the options that's left only for us, which is 3, is to fight for our freedom and take it, or stay here and live and die as a slave, or leave this country. Those the only 3 options we got. Simple as that. Those the only main 3 options we got. And personally, like I say, because I see that we not willing to do nothing for standing up for our true freedom and liberation, because we'd rather stay here and die as slaves, which is all gonna lead to, because the people that started this racism, enslavement, and Jim Crow oppression in this country is not gonna change it. Because in order for this stuff to be done away with, they got to be the ones to change it, because we don't have the power or influence to change it, which is one darn thing for sure. you know. So like I said before, we got those three options. Either fight for our freedom and take it, or die a slave, or leave America. And it's just that simple. Get the hell out of here. It's no future here for us. Since we don't want to stay here and fight to make a real future for us and the generations to come behind us. As dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. You know? And with that said, I'm going to leave y'all in peace as I came. And that's all I got.